Hello in the world of YouTube. I'm returning. So we are currently getting to the car to go back home and then to once again go back to the Poconos. Are you gonna take a picture or not?
You're on video.
Unless you call it.
I don't care about me. Take a picture of the Plantermobile.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Although a tornado is not immediate.
Well, here we are. Still driving to the Poconos. It's been about 4 hours. 80's naturally backed up. And so it's 611. And sadly, those are like the only two roads you got. Well, we finally made it to the Poconos. And now we're at Cody's house. Say hi, Cody. Huh? This is YouTube.
Hello. Fuck you, YouTube.
Alright guys, I know there's a lot of projects going on here today, and there's just a bunch of different things going on, but get used to it. This is my life. Right now, I am taking these brushes. I'm going to grind them, or sand them down to fit this little brush holder for the computator on my motorcycle. Try to get a good view of what's going on here. Don't mind the fingers. Car.
There's only one shot you need to remember. Transfer, Cotman. They do a lot now. Here is the Poconos ticket.
This is something you really only get one shot with. And if you do mess this up, well, you have to either find new brushes or, you know, that. See, this is the brush now. This is the brush I've been working on. And it went from being that. This thing actually focuses quite well to being this. This is the old brush, as you can see, is just it's just so toasted. So clearly it was time to get a new one. And these are pretty short for, you know, considering a car brush, this is pretty short. But for the size of my computator, this is almost a full-length brush right here, and which is perfect. So it's a win-win situation. It's a little bit of recycling. And it's better than just chucking your whole entire starter and having to buy a new one. You just get to keep on moving on for free. Alright guys, that's the one done. See that? It makes absolutely no difference. You can visibly see they're made out of the same materials. Some are better than others, but they all work. Doot, 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 doot. And that came out of this 1992 Dodge Daytona starter. Oh, that doesn't matter. All starters have them. But some starters, some brushes for some starters won't work with others, because these copper wires that come off the end, some of them will come off the back, and so it won't work as efficiently or as it's meant or intended to. This has back clearance, so that there's certain tolerances and clearances on the back side of my starter motor casing that needs to come up in here and fit down next to the brushes. So if any of your copper touches the outside of your motor housing, it will cause a short and spark. I wish I can get like some sick like aerial footage, like directly over top of this workbench here, but I don't have anything to do that with. You're not gonna be able to hold it steady enough, babe. So you get to deal with this. Congratulations. I don't care.
We were talking about getting a wig.
Yeah, I was gonna get a wig and pretend to be like my old self, you know? Because the last time I made YouTube videos, my fucking hair was down to like my chin. What's up, guys? I know it's been a while, you know? Yeah. And then even after you cut your hair, you still do it for like the entire next year.
That's why I cracked my neck like this.
See, the key to this is to keep this copper wire here center so that it goes in the track. You know, this is mine specific, not exactly the same for all of them, but this way it goes inside this track here, because that's your clearance on the matter. And I know my hands are horrendous, absolutely horrendous, but nothing wrong with some free zoom factors here. Nothing wrong at all. Now this is just me and this specific model, but I found a great, fantastic way of holding these little springs open here. I'm sure there's some specific tool for this, but I kind of just get one of those. I get it on the very edge there, if you can see it. Yeah, see? Then I take it, and I run it to the back, and then I do that, and I drop my screwdriver right down in. And that kind of just holds it open there. So now I'm free to remove whatever it is I gotta remove. In this case being my brush, obviously. And I can drop the new one right in. And I see it isn't fitting perfectly. I'm gonna have to take a little bit more material off this one. But believe me, she will gladly slide right in after a little bit of love. So, controlling this is fairly simple, straightforward, not too hard to tame. Now, what I've been doing here is I've been fitting it in until it doesn't really want to go in quite as easily anymore, where I then pull it out gently, and I don't know if my camera is going to be able to pick this up quite well, but you can kind of see where it's rubbing here. If it would just fucking focus. It doesn't want to. It wants to just focus on my fingers. Though I know you guys can at least see that reflection there. So I got one. See, you know you're clear on top because it's still nice and smooth. And then the other side also has a rub mark. So that means I gotta grind my sides down a little bit. again. See? Now this mark is in a different place, and I know where to focus my sanding while I'm sanding it, so that I can try to really get as flat of a surface as possible. See, a new one kind of arose right here, and maybe it was there already and I didn't see it. Okay, test fit this thing again. And man, she's close. See? So like I must have been a little bit wide towards the back, because this streak here keeps moving further and further back. Alright, so see that? The first mark was pretty far forward. So really gotta focus my grinding on the backside. See? Now we got a near perfect square. Got a slight rhombus going on there. But, you know, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you really want to have a good, nice, solid fit. That way, you don't want to have to rip this thing apart again. See that? Bang. You want to have just a little bit of tension, but not too much, because you'll easily overpower the spring. Alright, I got it in, and now I just release that. The spring goes right onto the back of this thing, and today's job is complete. I will also be recording the rest of my repairs on the bike. Sadly, I did not record the teardown on this, but I will gladly be recording the reinstallment, however you want to say that, of my brushes and my brush holder, I guess. My brush assembly, but I guess be the proper term. And, well, I don't have the resources here. They're at my house. I could probably put this brush in and on here. But my other brush, as you can see, this should be the ground wire. Or maybe, no, this is probably positive. And, yeah, this is my positive. Okay. This is soldered. So it's just a matter of cleaning that off and just resoldering the new end to it. And I know that's why I kind of want to, well, it's pretty easy to tell which is positive and which is negative. This is going to be your negative. It's going to be attached to your brush assembly, and obviously the other one is always going to be positive. So that's pretty hard to mix up. You just want to make sure your wires are long enough, whereas clearly mine here are a little bit longer because they're automotive. So that you can this bolt makes it to the edge of the housing. It's pretty easy, it's pretty simple. In total, I've probably spent maybe 40 minutes doing this. If you have a bench grinder or something, maybe some tougher sandpaper. This is some P180 180 grit. I mean, it's probably not the best stuff for this job, but you know, that's it. This is the first part of a series. We got a couple more things we're gonna go do today. We're gonna go fishing. Maybe catch some fish. You guys can stick around if you wish, but well, I haven't really figured out an out sequence yet. Everybody's got their own little thing. I gotta think of what mine's gonna be. Later.